Alright, well, let us continue on with the Evil Within. The consequence this time, let's make sure I actually select the correct game. Yeah, sorry guys, I've been out and still sort of am with what turned out to be just a sinus infection. I was worried it was COVID, even though I've been vaccinated a year ago. I've heard that, well, one, vaccines aren't always 100% guaranteed immunity. But also that it is possible they can lose their effectiveness in as little as just a few months. But yeah, so I'm still kind of recovering from that. But while I'm here talking about that, I just thought for anybody who may be listening, if you happen to be single, as in not married, and whether Christian or not, please consider looking into the community that I've been a very active member of, the forum community just called Simply Christian Forums, and there's a sub-community for single folk of any age. And again, Christians and other religions and atheists alike are welcome there. I was just thinking, it was I'm just really happy to be a part of that community, because even in just a minor sickness as this, like I said, it just turned out to be a sinus infection, at least as prescribed by the nurse practitioner I saw at the urgent care center just now. Everybody gave me encouragement when I started expressing worry about certain symptoms I was experiencing last night that were just a little scary to me, because I don't really recall ever experiencing things like chills before, where you have a hard time staying warm. But so I gave them my thanks for expressing their their e-hugs and well wishes and prayers and all that. So in that way, it kind of managed to make the night a lot more tolerable for me to get through last night, because my symptoms were much worse then. I don't know, I was thinking, I guess ever since becoming a conditionalist Christian who no longer believes in the traditional teaching of, that the soul is inherently immortal and therefore everybody goes to heaven or hell to live forever when they die, that death is just a passage from one life to another. Ever since I've forsaken that teaching, and with good reason, I've just become, I don't know, a little bit more sensitive to things like sickness, illness, mental disease, all that kind of stuff that just, I believe, has every chance of leading me closer to death, an eventual falling asleep. And my faith, now just gives me the barest of hope that one day you can wake up from that again to everlasting life through Jesus Christ. So, but I mean, the thing is, I think my faith is actually more mature now. Well, actually, first, let me see what's going on here. I think I've hit some kind of snag. As soon as I crawled down that ladder, everything went dark. Did my controller give out? Well, I don't have the flashlight equipped, or...
Ouch! Hey! Sweet!
Okay, well, let's just try reloading. Probably nothing. Just a glitch. Oh, as I was saying, I think my faith has actually become more mature, personally, in recognizing that I can't 100% prove that Christianity is the truth and that there truly is a God, and, all that kind of stuff. I can't 100% visually, scientifically prove it, but I believe it anyway. I choose to, and I've seen my own visions, feelings, just reasons to believe, so I decided to go with that. Anyway, not to get all proselytizing here and everything, just especially for those of you among my audience who who are believers in Jesus Christ, like myself, I do encourage you to check out the singles subcommunity and at Christian forums and join up, because I've made a lot of friends there over the years. Some I've been with since the very beginning. I've had a lot of intimate moments of sharing and all with many of them, and they've always been very helpful, encouraging, and seem to think very highly of me, which is most gracious of them as well. So yeah, there's that. And before I go down this ladder, let's try exploring a little bit. I have this vague memory that I came from there in the first place. Although it seems like this is the direction I should be going. It has been like a week, I think, since I was last on this. So I don't remember if I came from there when coming to this save point. But I don't see anything ahead of me either. This door was shut tight behind me, if that is the direction I came from. Alright, well, let's proceed down this way, and hopefully the game won't glitch again or whatever, or I'll figure out what it is I was supposed to do once I reach the bottom of this ladder. This descent into the most terrifying darkness I think I've ever experienced in a game. Actually, maybe I just didn't descend downward far enough, and this ladder actually goes a long way. Aha, yeah, there we go.
You were assigned to your team for a reason.
I just didn't go down far enough through the dark part.
They know nothing, but they're searching for answers.
Searching for us, you mean?
One of us. But this may be our chance to remove them.
Judith's like, no, I care about them now. I don't want to do as you say.
With opportunities.
You know, it's always possible that the admin actually cannot
The police department.
see directly what's happening to Julie in the stem. So it's possible, that it actually does resolve this seeming plot hole where I'm like, why does the admin still trust her in any way? He just now tried to kill her at the end of the assignment, expressing doubt for her all the while since pretty much the very beginning. A lack of faith in her absolute obedience and all that. But no, here it seems just now he's, given her new orders and seems to believe that she'll go through with it. So it's entirely possible that's not actually him projecting himself in any way into the stem, although I imagine a lot of the Mobius members, or at least people in higher positions like him, could, due to that brain chip or whatever it was that turned out to be their mass undoing at the end of the Evil Within 2. They needed it to like connect to stem wirelessly, and I think it was. I mean, after researching it a little bit, it seems that despite what a seeming terrible idea that was, to have that chip in your brain that could just be hacked, overridden, and cause your head to explode. I'm exaggerating a little there, but it did obviously kill every last person in Mobius. At the end of the second game, but yeah, I did think that was a bad idea, but apparently there was a purpose to it, and it was a way of them kind of, I don't know, being able to like wirelessly connect to stem and therefore have a less direct form of contact, to where it wouldn't be as easy to turn them into like the haunted and the lost, something like that, for whenever they go into stem. And I mean, I can understand that. That's a good idea. Just again, turned out to easily be their undoing, and Mobius was destroyed completely in an instant, despite always being seen as the most powerful secret organization on the planet. And, you know, I do still kind of feel bad about that, because, I mean, yeah, everybody will argue that guys like the admin, you know, needed to be taken out, all that, you know, all that kind of stuff, or it was a desperation move from Myra, Sebastian, and the rest, because Mobius really is that dangerous. I mean, they're trying to turn humanity into their own personal version of Utopia, and through, you know, very sketchy means, to say the least.
How's Lily doing?
But
Great.
it was learned at some
Everything's
point in
going
The Evil
fine.
Within 2 that literally
my
every
wife,
last
you know,
member who
wanted to
joins
take
up,
care
no
of
matter
her.
how low ranking they are,
She
have
barely
that
took
chip.
maternity leave, huh?
And I'm sure there are
One
plenty
of
of,
Crimson's
you know, guys
finest, I
who are good at
suppose.
heart who are
She's a
pretty
great
much
cop in her own
innocent
right,
of
but we can manage without her for
the
a little
admin's
longer.
crimes that might not even
You should
fully
hope she
grasp the
doesn't hear you
concept
say
of what it
that.
is they're trying to
You'll
do.
be out in your ass,
What it is they're
Joseph.
trying to do. Guys
This
like
looks like it's
Sykes
way
and many
before
of
I
the
got
team
here.
members that
Everyone's so much younger.
Sebastian was
But Sebastian's profile didn't say he was married.
specifically sent in to try to find and
Let alone
recover
a child.
in The Evil Within 2. And I mean, I think even Julie said something like, or maybe it was Sykes, somebody said that even right down to the guy who cleans the toilets has that chip in their brain. I'm just like, we murdered the freaking janitor too, just to stop Mobius? That just sounds just not right. Not something the good guy should do. But, and on top of that, if Sykes did indeed, he did mention at some point when you, okay, that's just a safe, contain another piece of that optional letter or whatever that is. Sykes did say something like, you know, when Sebastian helped him find that back door out of STEM, he did say something like, and if it's successful, if I get out of there alive, back into the real world, first thing I'm going to do is remove this damned chip. You know, I don't want to have anything more to do with Mobius. Okay, so if it was a success, when we finally see him on his way through that escape pod, you know, what if Sykes didn't do that in time? You know, then we killed him too, as collateral damage. And what if other team members had survived the game? Which that was a minor issue I did have with The Evil Within 2, was the fact that it seems you can't save anybody
Look,
else. There
Seb,
should
we
be
need
some
to
kind of
talk.
option.
Going off
I
your
mean,
conspiracy
it doesn't even
theories,
necessarily have to
you're getting
be
out of control.
easy, but to
You don't
save
pull
at least
that in
one or
front of
two
the
other
captain.
team members like
I'm onto
Hoffman
something, Joseph. I
or
don't need you hiding
even
shit from
O'Neill.
me, too.
You
I'm
know,
not
that would have been nice to have
Sebastian.
that
I'm
option.
trying
They
to
seem
help.
like good folk, you
I
know,
wanna
despite
help,
being part of Mobius.
but
So,
you need to think about this
I mean,
carefully.
what if Hoffman
Your
didn't
daughter.
die before
a
I
loss.
confronted Theodore,
Everyone on the
and
force
she was
felt
just
it.
waiting?
But your wife is...
She was just
Myra
waiting
left,
for me to get to
Joseph.
Myra and find that,
She left. When we needed each
you
other
know,
the most, Myra left me. What would make her do
and
that?
find that way out of STEM
I
at
have
the
to
end of
know.
the game,
I
and
don't
we
care
just
what
killed
it
her
costs.
too. We would have killed
His
her anyway
daughter,
because
then
of
his wife?
the brain chip hacking
One
thing.
right after the other? No wonder he always seems so closed off.
Just, I guess, it seems like pretty much for everybody but the admin, it was a pretty quick death, but still, just the fact that it was... you know, if I were doing a review of that game and I was wanting to be sarcastic, like Spoonie or Critic or Snob or anybody like that, then I would have called it mass murder. The heroes just committed that. Well, I can say so far this is perhaps the cheeriest environment we've come across in Julie's DLC so far. It's perfectly light outside,
Julie Kidman? She barely has any experience.
and there's no creepy scenery
We
inside
don't even know
either.
anything about her. Send her out canvassing witnesses then. Let her see the streets.
No, she's coming with us. I'm going to train her. She's my responsibility.
Look, I know you say it's personal, and I don't like to talk about it, but we can't have your misplaced guilt leading to rookies slowing us down.
Isn't Joseph Oda, wasn't he pretty much a rookie
He
as
and
well?
Joseph weren't supposed to be involved. It shouldn't have happened like this.
I mean, well, no, I guess Joseph had been his partner for a while. Had to have been at least a few years because Myra I think Myra either went out of action or had to be transferred to another position, due to, the politics of dating your coworkers once she and Sebastian got married and had a kid together.
You've been on assignment for a week. How has it been?
Observe and report, just like you ordered. It's surreal to be on the other side after all I've been through.
Any signs of anything?
Nothing yet. I'm not about to be caught snooping around the classified room while I'm still on probation, so I can't get what they have on us.
Just earn their trust. That's all you can do now. It'll take a while, but in the end, they will let you in.
I didn't know all these police officers were characters, though. Guess the tough, hard-boiled detective stereotype is still going strong.
Our reports on Oda are that he doesn't let things slide. So be extra careful around him.
Will do. Though I can't imagine us getting along well.
And
Actually, according to Sebastian, Joseph might have had a crush on you.
Seems drunk half the time. Or at least he's considerate. Is he really the one people are concerned about? He seems almost harmless.
He is known to get emotional. Just make sure to give him his space. Respect him. As your superior.
I mean, there's another Mobius agent right there that I wouldn't say it deserved to die. I mean, she actually seems like she's looking at Sebastian as a fellow human being. They're not looking... Not everybody in Mobius looks at, everybody in STEM as just mere test subjects or toys to play with in any way. So again, that whole kind of mass murder thing at the end of the second game didn't sit too well with me. Although the fact that it did seem like a desperation move of sorts does take the edge off a little bit. And overall, I really do like Sebastian as a protagonist. He's one of the more interesting to me in video games offhand, I would say, especially survival horror.
This is Crimson? This can't be real. The light.
A STEM prototype at Beacon.
Okay, so apparently we have
I just
entered
hope I
in
can
about
get
the
there
same
before
time
he
as
does.
Sebastian and Joseph entered into the Broken Crimson City segment. Since I guess that was the moment when Ruvik decided he wanted to take us to that environment. So this is somewhere at the start of chapter 11 in the main game. I'm sorry if it sounds like my voice is cracking a lot, but after I, when I talk, because of the sinus infection, I am, sorry, just kind of, my throat's suddenly getting stuck while talking. Mucus buildup and all that. So I hope I don't sound too weird. Okay, and since I had gone through a quick game of The Evil Within 2, trying to see if I could get on Akumu mode, and it turns out you have to have like a membership at Miss Ada's website or something stupid like that, so I didn't actually do Akumu mode there, but went through a normal game just because I thought it was about that time. Yeah, I'm still kind of going off of the controls of that because I played that in between this episode and the last one, so the ducking controls especially were different. Alright, I had a vague memory that there was an enemy waiting for me here from the last time, and again, I'm not armed. I must be remembering this wrong, that I'm ever really armed in the game. I'm pretty sure I do have weapons to use for the final battle, though. I think I remember that pretty well. There's one right there. Well, let's see if we can just go right behind him. Oh, since it's at the edge of the roof, I can just shove him off.
Well, he's not coming back.
Well, that was kind of mean.
Reuben's experimentation has demanded more and more subjects, and sad to say, they're suffering as much as, if not more than, his previous patients. Fortunately, Beacon and the city offer no shortage of expendable subjects. I should feel guiltier than I do, but my Hippocratic oath was abandoned long ago. The scientific and medical potential of the work is too great to be denied. Mobius has also offered me a respectable amount of compensation. Promoting me to director at Beacon is not something to be taken lightly. First, however, they want me to have a reputation, publishing studies in various journals. Repurposing some of Reuben's research towards patient evaluation seems viable. I doubt he will even notice.
I do remember that. You did see a vision at some point in the main game that Ruvik accusing Jimenez of stealing his work, plagiarizing. But like Jimenez said, Ruvik was the kind of person that is probably better off sticking to the shadows anyway. Especially considering the complete lack of ethics in his work in developing STEM. Not that Jimenez turned out to be much better in the ethics department, but I at least see traces of humanity here and there. Like when he did express some regret, and actually sounded like he did in fact feel guilty that he had, well, gone against the Hippocratic oath that he took before he became a doctor. Which is nice. It's like you see both good and evil in a person, or at least a potential for both, and that can easily make for a fascinating character. That's why I do like a character like Jimenez better than Ruvik, really. Oh. There's a guy just sorta right there. Alright, I may have to take a run all the way back to lose him.
Come here.
And I did read somewhere that enemies actually are not attracted to light, interestingly. Okay, hopefully he's still busy investigating back there and didn't hear me run on ahead. But yeah, apparently enemies do not notice your light, like they're just completely blind or something. So, oh, nope, he's back. And I am forgetting how to dash properly because the controls for that were changed also between the first and second game. Okay, well if need be I can take care of him here with an axe. He'll need to kind of bugger off for a while though so I can sneak up behind him with it. Okay, dude, I'm on the other side of a wall. How do you notice that I'm here? Oh. Yeah, they must be pretty much blind. Hopefully he will not turn around in time. There we go. And I can save my axe. Oh, so anyway, what I was saying about the admin in the very first place before going into that whole, you know, mass murder via exploding your brain thing. I would just assume that actually the administrator is not, you know, projecting himself, like, by his own will in any way into STEM, and thus, you know, the confrontations I've had with him as Julie here earlier is just Julie's own mind making this up. Like, her fears of disappointing him or disobeying him and incurring the wrath of Mobius because of it, that might actually be it. It's that, as far as the administrator himself knows, in the outside world, she's following his every order. That she stayed loyal, so that does make sense. I mean, I might be totally wrong in theorizing that, but otherwise I don't see how it's not a pretty big plot hole. That he was speaking with me just totally normally a minute ago as I was climbing down that ladder into the abyss. And yet, you know, he tried to kill me at the, you know, just an hour or so of game time ago. And he will again at the end of the consequence as well. That was a final battle with him. I mean, that the final battle is with him, so... by the way, guys, this is actually... Excuse me. This is actually really starting to hurt to talk, I guess. I guess I'm not as far along in my symptoms as I am recovering from them as I thought I was, so I'm probably going to end this at the next save point so I don't have to continue talking. It's starting to hurt a little. Hurt my throat a little, so...
Looks like it might be my only way out.
Okay, so I guess I have to find different pieces of the marking to put together here. Alright, so far so good, no enemies. Okay, hopefully that's the enemy they were alerting me to a minute ago, that he was about to crash through that door, and there's not one that I just missed. He was about to sneak up behind me. Well, she turned before I could sneak up behind her, but I did find a sculpture piece that I probably wouldn't have otherwise. It would have taken me a long time to... Probably would have taken me a long time to notice it there. Now from there, you should probably actually be able to see Julie's face peeking out from underneath that little crawl space. Alright, well, let's see what else there is to find in here. I don't remember, but I'm guessing I just need like 2 more pieces to form a star and that'll be it. Don't remember if you can duck down. Yeah, there we go. Just in case there's a very hidden piece in here. Alright, I think there were some other avenues to explore, so we'll leave that room alone for now. Or perhaps I was wrong, there actually isn't. Well, what are other places back where I came from in the first place? No, that door is locked solid behind me, so at least there's not too many different locations I'm gonna have to look over here. Oh, actually, this might... I don't know, this just seems like a noticeable marking on the wall. Can't do anything with it, though. Okay, well... for the moment, I am stumped and I have no leads. I mean, I'm not even entirely positive that there's two other pieces to form a whole star that I need to even find. Or if I could just solve that puzzle right now somehow. Kind of wonder what that slight crumbly sound is. Is that from my footsteps, or is the game trying to alert me to something in the vicinity? Okay, I really can't help but feel that there is something I need to do here. I wonder if, these holes in the wall appeared as I was forming the sculpture together. Maybe I just need to somehow get the light going in such a way as to make it match up the actual sculpture with the rest of the marking on the wall. Yep, I think there we go. I just need to home in on it just right. Okay. I just need to make up for...
This is your last chance to prove yourself to us, kid. Don't let us down. Bring the boy to us.
Stop it! Get out of my head!
What's Piano doing there? Well, of course, in a location like the stem, everybody's minds jumbled together, feeding off of each other, possibly trying to override each other in some way. I guess you're gonna be asking that question a lot. What is this doing in this kind of environment? Okay, guys, sorry to cut this so short, but like I said, it was starting to increase the irritation in my throat a little bit trying to talk through this science fiction, so I will leave it here for now, and I'll see you next time when I'm a lot better. Thanks for watching.